So obviously we've just spent the week at obviously the Microsoft UC Expo. So don't know about you, came back to a lot of emails and lots of people requesting to have some meetings with me. So
Good.
one of the features from Copilot, obviously it being the new technology that I want to talk about, is I've discovered the schedule with Copilot feature for scheduling meetings through Outlook. And
Nice.
what was taking considerable amount of time to check is something that's sped up considerably. 5 minutes every time you want to schedule a meeting, scheduling 10 meetings a day, you're saving close to an hour. That's 5 hours a week of time that Copilot is tangibly saving me with this feature. So I wanted to take, I think it's a great example of something to show you.
Cool. So it's scheduling your meetings essentially for you.
Exactly. So this is a Copilot in Outlook feature. I believe it is on the roadmap to be in Exchange within Teams soon, but currently this sits within the Outlook feature. So, for example, we get an email, one prepared earlier from yourself, Wes, wanting to asking how things are going with the YouTube channel, and I'm thinking I want to have a meeting with Wes to organize this. So traditionally what I'd have to do is send a meeting, and then once I've got that meeting, I'd have to find, using the scheduling assistant, find a time in Wes's diary that worked.
Yeah, which is painful.
Painful, especially when this example only has me and you in it, but if you've got 4 or 5 colleagues in an email and you've got to find that gap that works for everybody, it can often be quite difficult to scroll forward throughout the days to find it. But thanks to Schedule with Copilot, I just click that, bang, it's found that you and I are both free at 3 o'clock.
Oh.
So it also then has pulled together a quick agenda and a quick summary of what the email chain has been so far. So obviously that email was quite short, but when you've got a large email thread with multiple talking points, this has instantly done that. So what usually would have taken me a couple of minutes to find the availability and a couple of minutes to just write a quick summary of what the meeting's about, what we need to cover, what we need to talk about, this has done this instantly, and I can just insert that into the chat. So I'm finding that this is not only speeding up time, but whereas potentially before I was only really putting in an agenda and trying to make it clear and concise for really important meetings, this is now meaning that every single meeting has got a bit of uniformity across it. There's that standard where I can just go, right, here's the agenda. This is what's to be talked about. Obviously, you can edit all this. You can add points. And I think from a point of view and helping with, as we've spoken about previously, that neurodiverse, where people potentially aren't, comfortable or they aren't great spellers, writers, people with dyslexia, for example, this is pulling together and getting you started on a better way of working, a better way of presenting yourself in those meetings. And this can send this off. What it also does.
Yeah, go on.
The other thing it does, which I thought was really, really clever, is obviously if you have a multi-time zoned organization, like, for example, we have colleagues who work in America, 50% of the attendees of the meeting might be free at 9 a.m. But there's no meetings in our colleagues in America's diaries because it's like 4 a.m. over there.
Yeah.
But it knows that it's outside their working hours, so it wouldn't suggest that slot.
That's great.
So whereas before I've gone, they're free, and forgot that person's in, a different time zone.
Free because they're in bed.
Exactly, and then you just get the, sorry mate, I will not be attending this because it's this time, etc. So
that's great.
That scheduling has just made it so much quicker. And obviously with the new Outlook, you can set if it's going to be a hybrid meeting, an in-person meeting. So nothing changes in terms of that, but it just sped up the time spent, what was spent obviously finding the slot, creating the agenda, is now that extra minute that you can take to be like, do I want to add a room? Do I need to make sure I do all these prep? And it just means that you're organizing it from the start.
Yeah.
And it's not that situation where down the line you go, I need to add a meeting room to that.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I book a space.
I really like the summary as well, because like you say, you've been away, like you might have been away on holiday or something, and you've got those meetings that you need to book in and stuff, and you're like, what were we talking about?
100%.
So that's great. Awesome. Nice. Really like that. Great feature. Well done, Copilot.
Well done again. High five to Copilot.